And welcome to Larry Knight Field as the Sumrall Bobcats are set to take on the Northeast Jones Tigers here in Game 2, Round 3 of the MHSAA playoffs. And I've got a special guest joining me tonight, Mr. Todd Siders. Todd, how's everything going?
Hey, the band is back together. It's that time of year again.
That's right.
Yeah, unfortunately, it means I'm not coaching anymore in another sport, but excited to catch some Bobcat baseball here as they try to punch their ticket to yet another South State Championship Series.
Well, the bright side is we did this last year, and we ended up winning the state championship, so we got to keep the juju going.
You feel like it's just what has to happen, right?
Yes.
It just feels natural.
Yes, unfortunately, that's what's got to happen, and so I'm glad you're here with us tonight. It's going to be a very, very good matchup, but the Sumrall Bobcats came out firing last night and ended up winning 14-0. That kind of took people by surprise, Coach. I don't know how much you know about the Northeast Jones Tigers, but 14-0 in the round 3, game 1 at Northeast Jones. That's a pretty big blowout there.
Yeah, traditionally a team that is very scrappy, that fights really hard. The challenge, and the beauty of baseball, right? It's another game for Northeast Jones. There's a chance to turn the page and come back out here and play again tonight. And I think it's very important for Sumrall to come out and try to keep that momentum going from last night, set the tone early, see if they can jump ahead, and see if they can put this team away.
You know what they always say, it's tough to beat a team twice. And so we'll see if that happens tonight. Leo Odom on the mound for the Bobcats. And Leo Odom, the Ole Miss signee, finishing up his year and his career here at Sumrall this season. And so one of his last starts. So he's going to take it very seriously. He comes into the game 4-3 record, 1.85 ERA, 34 innings pitched, 63 strikeouts, and 27 walks. And Coach, I'd like to highlight that 27 walks category. Just a week ago, he didn't walk a single person against Poplarville, and you could really tell that was the difference. And he just fans Carter Wingington 3 straight pitches.
Yeah, Leo, a true metric guy. A lot of RPMs on his breaking ball, good rise on his fastball. It's all about the fastball command with Leo. Coming off his best start of the season, his last time out. 3 straight fastballs, blows the leadoff hitter away. If you're a Bobcat fan, that's very encouraging.
Absolutely. Now we have the catcher, Jax Sullins. He comes into the game hitting .310 with 2 jacks. He's the catcher for this Northeast Jones Tiger squad, and he gets a first pitch fastball and fouls it off for strike 1. And that's another strike, so 5 straight strikes from Leo Odom. And I'm not going to say that's out of the ordinary for Leo, but for him to come out here and a lot of nerves, and the first 5 pitches he throws to lead off the game, all strikes, which I might have jinxed that one right there. But
that was that slider. And that's his strikeout pitch, a wipeout slider. But it all is off, like I said, that fastball command. If he can locate the fastball in and out, and that slider's coming out of his hand looking like a fastball, it comes awfully hard to hit.
That fastball right there just missed off the plate. A good-looking pitch, especially the 1-2 count. And he gets another swing and a miss, and that's the second strikeout of the inning. And Odom really rolling here through 2 batters. Now Caden Padgett comes to the plate, and this is the heart of their order, 461. He's got 10 doubles on the season.
And Caden, a standout player in his career for the Tiger soccer team as well. Known him, seen him play that sport for a long time now. Just a talented athlete that can do it in multiple facets.
Yeah, an all-around athlete, and good piece of hitting there, but it's scooped up by Hawkins, and he throws it to first for out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down here in the first. And we head to the bottom of the first inning. Bobcats and Tigers all squared at 0. We're back live here in the bottom of the first inning. Drew Davis, Caden Williamson, and Landon Hawkins all due up for the Bobcats in this inning. Drew Davis, 434 and 3 home runs out of the leadoff spot. And, Coach, we were talking before the game, you know, Drew's a guy who started out slow this season but has really turned it on and found him a home here in the leadoff spot.
Yeah, definitely a talented hitter, sets the tone for the Bobcat lineup. You want to get these guys on in front of your heart of the lineup. A golden opportunity for Sumrall to really make a statement here. Leo, you couldn't ask for a better first inning. If you want to come out and try to put a couple of runs on the board here and put Northeast Jones on their heels real quick.
Absolutely, and Davis now stands in with a 1-2 count here to lead things off in the bottom of the first. And the catcher thought that was strike 3, and, you know, it didn't look bad from here.
Yeah, if it was off, it wasn't off by much. Seen that pitch called a strike a number of times. We'll see if that continues throughout the
This one
game.
hit up the middle. Shortstop's going to have to make a good play. Davis, a lot of speed, but not enough. A shortstop throws it to first for out number 1. So a 6-3 put out for their first out of the inning. Now Caden Williamson comes up to the plate, hitting .378 on the season.
Yeah, welcome sight to see him back from off-season surgery. Talented player in his senior year. Been big for them last year, out two hole again this year. Does a lot of things well with the bat.
Yeah, he's very disciplined at the plate and takes the pitches he needs to take and just very baseball savvy. And that's what you need out of this 2 spot. He takes that one inside for ball 1. Then you have Landon Hawkins on deck, who's I would say, the heart of this Bobcat order and has been the life up and down for the Bobcats. Probably leads the Bobcats in every offensive category besides home runs.
Yeah, going to one of the premier junior college programs in the country in Pearl River next year. Had a great year.
And that one misses low. And the pitcher on the mound tonight for the Northeast Jones Tigers, Ryan Harrington. He's 7-1. He's got a 1.02 ERA. He's got 48 innings pitched, 66 strikeouts now, and 15 walks on the season.
Yeah, certainly looked strong out of the gate, throwing the fastball well, locating it well. Showed a big hammer to Caden on his first pitch, probably, pitching a little bit backwards there. Definitely tell a reason why he's 7-1 on the year.
And, if you, at this level, it doesn't matter how hard you throw. If you can throw 2 pitches for a strike, you can be very effective. And that's what Harrington's been able to do so far here in the first. And this one's hit to the shortstop. Shortstop fields it, and he throws it to first, round number 3. So 3 up, 3 down for the Bobcats. And we head to the top of the second inning. All square 0-0. This is Zane Berry and Todd Siders. We will be back in the top of the second inning. After the warm-up pitches from Odom, we are back Here in the top of the second inning, Cruz Sullins, Ryan Harrington, and Jasper Harrington all due up for the Northeast Jones Tigers. And Sullins fouls that fastball off for strike one.
Nice to see a good crowd here tonight. Beautiful evening for baseball after the rain came through early this afternoon.
Coach, you could not ask for a better day to get out here and watch some baseball. And, you know, I see you watching the Southern Miss game over there, so I'm sure there's a lot of people out at the Pete today.
Yeah, you can't ask for a better May afternoon. I mean, it's nice and cool breeze, great baseball weather.
Good block there by Cochran on the 0-2 pitch, but unable to get Sullins swinging. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Cruz Sullins. And that's going to be another strikeout for Leo Odom.
Just a lot of late life on that fastball. Really gets in on the hitter's hands really quick. Tunneling out with that slider coming off the same plane. It's really tough to hit. Like I said, if his command's been on early, it's going to be a long night for these Northeast Jones hitters.
Yeah, 3 strikeouts through 4 batters for Leo Odom so far tonight. And that one fouled back into the net. You see how that one got on the hands of Ryan Harrington, the pitcher. Just these Tiger hitters been late on Odom's fastball all night. That one misses away.
And you can just tell Leo is feeling good on the mound. Just a lot of bounce on the mound, just wanting the ball, and he's just hitting the spots left and right now, hitting every quadrant of the zone. Very deadly when he can locate the way he's locating tonight.
Absolutely, and you see the shadow of where the sun's hitting him, but it's not anywhere else. When somebody's up there throwing at 92, that's just enough to be deceiving, you know. You can see the ball and then goes back into the shadow. Sometimes hard to pick up that spin. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Ryan Harrington, the hitter, and that one pegs Harrington in the elbow, and he jogs down to first. And that's the first base runner of this ball game.
Yeah, fastball just rode a little bit too in there. Has been commanding that pitch very well. Important just to let that one go. Get back on the next hitter, try to get a ground ball here and get out of this inning.
So 1 out. Runner on first now for the Tigers. And Jasper Harrington comes to the plate. He's hitting .293 on the season. Got 2 doubles. And he squares the bunt. And they about got the runner over there asleep.
Yeah, it's curious to see if Northeast Jones might try to play a little small ball tonight, try to put the ball in the field of play, make Sumrall make plays after being shut out last night, just try to get runners moving, trying to open up holes.
And this one's popped out into left field. Caden Williamson camps under it for out number 2. And, Coach, that's what you want to see right there. Odom getting back in the zone after plunking the batter just 1 at-bat before.
And look, and Leo's traditionally been one of those guys, right? He's going to walk a few batters. He might peg a few, but a lot of swing and miss. He can make up for a lot of base runners. You want to see that in the playoffs. A guy with the swing and miss stuff that can just erase a lot of people with the strikeout and not have to have your defense make a lot of plays.
So the pick to first not in time. And Odom toes the rubber here with 2 outs. An 0-0 count to Braden Hayes. A swing and a miss by Hayes.
Of course, you got the courtesy runner for the pitcher on at first base. Be curious to see if they might put him in motion here with 2 outs, try to get a runner into scoring position early in this ball game where 2 outs, a base hit could bring him in.
I would almost feel like you have to try something here in this ball game. After a 14-0 loss last night, and you're 1 game away from going to the house for good this year, so gotta play aggressive here in Sumrall. I want to strike.
And the challenge with it, Leo looks pretty quick to the plate, not using a true slide step, but a lot of velocity on his fastball and his slider. Doesn't throw a lot of change-ups. So it's kind of difficult to get a good jump on him, and then it makes it a little bit easier for the catcher to throw runners out. And there we go.
There he goes. And he's able to steal it on no throw. So now a runner in scoring position here with 2 outs.
Yeah, I like the call there. 2 strikes, 2 outs. high probability you're going to get a breaking ball, and that was a breaking ball that was into the turf, an easy stolen base, and now a blue pit can put you on the board first.
Yep, absolutely. And 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here to Braden Hayes. And a swing and a miss. And Leo Odom gets his 4th strikeout of the night. And we head to the bottom of the second inning. Odom, Harrison, and Rayner all due up for the Bobcats when we come back. And Leo Odom, first pitch he sees, popped out into foul territory. First baseman camps under it. And that's not what you want to see out of the first pitch here in the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, Leo, a bit of a free swinger. Got a first pitch breaking ball up in the zone, just got underneath it there. Important for Sumrall to kind of maybe see a few more pitches, try to work a little bit deeper in this count, see if they can get this pitch count up a little bit.
Yeah, he's got that green light. Leads the team in home runs, 8 home runs, and hitting .410 on the season so far. And so that's a guy, if he wants to swing first pitch, you let him. And sometimes that's the result.
Of course, Braylon having a breakout season this year, really come on to his own this year. The junior hitting really well, plays a great defensive center field for the Bobcats.
Yeah, hitting .337. He's got 3 home runs, and that comes as a surprise for a lot of us. A guy who's just really got some power at the plate now and feeling good. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out.
Yeah, good at bat after the first pitch swinging there. Running it to a 3-1 count, see if he can get something he can drive into a gap.
A good swing, but it's fouled off into the Northeast Jones dugout. And now the count goes to 3-2. So a full count to Harrison. And he's a guy you do not want to walk because he's got a lot of speed and can really take advantage of the base path. Ooh, that one hit about a foot away from a Tiger head over there.
Yeah, that was dangerous right there. Really turned on that fastball, line drive right into the Northeast Jones dugout.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Ryan Harrington, the 3-2 pitch, and this one's turned on, and it's hit foul. That one landed perfectly between 2 vehicles. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. Harrison having a great at-bat. But Harrington gets him swinging. That's Harrington's second strikeout of the night.
Harrington not, throwing with a tremendous amount of velocity, but looks like he has a little late ride to his fastball. He's really located in and out right now, opening up that slower breaking ball that he has. But good at bat by Harrison. See a couple pitches there, and hopefully these Bobcats just see a little bit more pitches, kind of get their timing a little bit more on the pitcher.
Yeah, absolutely. And, usually after one time through the lineup, you get a good feel for the pitcher and a lot of his tendencies. And he starts Rayner off with an outside fastball.
Definitely like to give a shout-out to former Bobcat, Mr. Billy, listening in with that beautiful mustache of his.
Yeah, Billy Garrity, a guy who didn't get much playing time here at Sumrall, unfortunately. So a lot of y'all probably don't know him, but shout out to him. And that's the first hit of the ball game, and it's an infield single in the 6-hole for Will Rayner. And now Jack Miller comes to the plate.
Rayner, a guy has a lot of speed. You probably anticipate him being on the move here with 2 outs. Just putting the ball in play. Good job getting a runner on base there.
Jack Miller takes that breaking ball in for strike 1.
The one thing that Harrington seems to be doing really well tonight, it seems like every hitter that's coming up, it's a first pitch strike. Very important for pitchers to work ahead, open up their full arsenal, putting hitters on their back foot.
That makes the world of difference if you're a pitcher. Being able to get ahead and just take advantage of that. And as a hitter, you get tight after a first pitch strike. Your approach changes a little bit. Especially like Harrington is throwing that breaking ball for strike. That one hit to the shortstop, and after the first hit of the ball game from Will Rayner, Jack Miller flies out to the shortstop, and that's going to end things here in the second. So we will be back in the top of the 3rd inning. This is Zane Berry and Todd Siders. You are watching Bobcat Baseball. Cochran throws it down, and we're back live here in Sumrall in the top of the 3rd inning. Asher McBride, Logan Altman, and then the top of the lineup, Carter Wigington, all due up for the Tigers here in the top of the 3rd inning. 1 ball, 1 strike here to McBride. And Odom, man, he's working fast tonight. You can tell he's really feeling it.
Yeah, fastball looks really good tonight. It's almost kind of like here, hit it if you can. And right now the Northeast batters are just a tick late on it, and they keep pumping it in there until they make adjustments.
Yeah, he just gets the ball and is ready to go tonight. You know, usually takes a little time, but it's a whole different Odom here. And that one's turned on. Rayner slips, and that's going to be a single for the 8-hole hitter, Asher McBride. That was a good piece of hitting there by McBride.
Yeah, it looked like Leo kind of way ahead in the count there, left a fastball just too much over the wide of the plate right there. Too much of a hittable pitch there in that situation, and a good job by the Northeast Jones hitter being on time, and unfortunate that the outfielder slipped out in right field.
Yeah, now the 9-hole hitter, Logan Altman, at the plate, and you got to imagine they're at least going to try to lay one down here.
Yeah, I'd imagine 9-hole here is going to try to put a bunt down, move a runner, scoring position, make Sumrall make some things. But, of course, after the first pitch, he pulls it back and takes a hack. And I think that might have been a missed sign with the way that third base coach is coming down.
And that is what you call a missed sign. Coach is giving him an earful right now. But Logan Altman comes back to the plate. And I bet he squares here. McBride standing at first after the leadoff single. And he squares, and that's going to be a breaking ball strike. And Cochran threw it to first. A little off target.
Well, now that swing and the foul ball puts you in a bind here, 2 strikes. You have to see if they might keep the bunt on or if they're going to turn loose, see if he can maybe just put something in play, move a runner that way.
Logan Altman came into the game hitting .256. That fastball way out. Fantastic breaking ball there from Leo Odom.
Hey, Leo really wanted that. Kind of gave a grin looking back into the dugout for Sumrall. Thought he had the corner on that one.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here to Altman. And a swing and a miss. And that's going to be another strikeout for Leo Odom.
Yeah, I feel like that's a waste of the bat for Northeast Jones. You really want to, bunt is a lost art in the game today, it feels like. But in that situation, you really want to get a runner second with the top of your lineup coming up and a chance to draw first blood in the game tonight.
And now the top of the order, Carter Wingington. He struck out in his first at-bat. He steps back in and a big swing and a miss there by him. And he's got 5 home runs on the season out of the leadoff spot. He leads the Tigers in home runs. That one misses in the dirt. Good block there by Cochran.
Yeah, good job of keeping that ball in front and not allowing that runner at first base to get in the scoring position there.
Caden Cochran has been phenomenal behind the plate all season long. Probably one of the best defensive catchers I've seen in a long time behind the plate.
And
as soon as I say that, and then he throws it out to center field. That was the announcer jinx there. My apologies, Caden.
Well, I think that was one of the question marks you asked Coach Davis going into the season this year was how do you feel the role that was left behind the plate with ST graduating last year, who was very solid for them behind the plate last season. And Caden's had a great year doing that for them. Unfortunately, that ball got away there.
Yeah, he has absolutely stepped up for the Bobcats. But now the Bobcats in trouble here. Got a runner in scoring position at second and a 3-1 count to Carter Wingington. And that's going to be a walk. So runners at first and second now for the Northeast Jones Tigers. And Jax Sullins comes to the plate. He was a strikeout victim his first at-bat.
I know it's early in the game. We're just in the top of the third right now, but it feels like a pivotal part in the game right now. Northeast Jones trying to snatch some momentum after the ball game last night. See if they get on the board first. 2 on, first and second with 1 out. And your 2, 3, 4 hitters up is exactly what you want if you're a Northeast Jones fan.
And you can feel the energy coming from the Northeast Jones fans over here on the left side of the Bobcat Stadium. They're making some noise. Now that's back-to-back swings and misses there for Jack Sullins. This could be a huge strikeout for Odom if he's able to get it. No balls, 2 strikes. Runners at first and second for the Tigers here with 1 out. The 0-2 pitch just misses in. And the count goes to 1-2. I like that pitch right there. Going in on the hands there with 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch. And it misses up. Now Odom taking a deep breath.
We're seeing a lot of fastballs. We'll see if he might break out that slider, see if he can start it on the other third of the plate, make it look like an outside fastball, and dive away. A strike the ball slider here might get the punch out.
And that's going to be a strike 3, and that is a beautiful pitch.
Or a 92-mile-an-hour fastball in on the inner half right there. Does the same thing.
That works as well. And now Caden Padgett comes to the plate. And this is the guy we talked about last time. 461 with 10 doubles on the season. He grounded out to the third baseman, but it was a sharp hit ball in his last at-bat. And that breaking ball barely misses. Umpire says it misses up.
Sumrall dugout not pleased with that. You can see up and down from the sides. Kind of hard to see in and out.
The 1-0 pitch. That one fouled back into the net. Count goes to 1-1. If you're Northeast Jones here, if you're that third base coach, you're sending the runner at second no matter what. Back pick. That's something the Bobcats have been very, very successful at, is picking to second. I've always found the pickoff to second base is one of the harder moves in baseball.
Well, a lot of timing involved in that, so you're risking that ball getting into the outfield. But with 2 outs, a runner at second, runner at third is more than likely going to score regardless on a base hit. So it might be a good time to take those opportunities to see if you can sneak it out and get out of this inning.
That fastball misses in, and the count goes 2-1 here to Caden Padgett.
Yeah, dangerous pitch here. You don't want to give in. You still want to try to locate on the blacks of the plate here.
That's a great spot from Leo Odom.
Yeah, as I got the words out, right on the outer third right there. Just nipping the black of the plate right there. Great pitch there, 2 strikes. Real important pitch here. If you get to 3-2, the runners will be on the move. So Leo would like to go ahead and get this out right here on this pitch.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And that's going to... Oh! Man. I thought that was a for sure swing there. But looks like Padgett held it up.
Yeah, it definitely looked like that bat went through the zone there. Tough break there. So full count, runners will be on the move. A base hit will almost certainly put Northeast Jones ahead in this ballgame.
Best on best here. Leo Odom, Padgett. And Odom misses low, and that's going to load the bases here in the top of the third inning. Now Cruz Sullins, the cleanup hitter. 353, 2 home runs, but he was a strikeout victim in his first at-bat.
I like this visit from Caden here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Feels like a big part of this game here. Just remind Leo, hey, you're 1 pitch away, 1 out, get you out of this with no runs scored. He goes back to the windup where he seems to be a little bit more comfortable.
The 0-0 pitch. That one barely misses. And the count goes to 1-0. And you know, this is a good opportunity right here to see what Leo Odom is made of. And we know he's got it. We just got to see it here. Because if they are to win this game, you won't be able to find a seat in this place next week. So the Bobcats will probably face the Tornadoes from Purvis. And we know how that goes. It's 3 years running.
Yeah, I think everybody going into the year kind of penciled that series in again for South State, and rightfully so. 2 very talented programs, 2 very proud programs. That neither team has lost a lot from the previous season. You know, that's the last 3 4A state championships going back. And, you know, big moment here for Leo. You can tell he's visibly frustrated by the strike zone. Felt like he's had a couple calls go against him. Very important just to kind of slow everything down now. Trust your stuff. Just locate 1 out, get you out of the inning here.
That's a great mound visit. And it must have worked. As Will Rayner camps under it for out number 3. So the Tigers leave the bases loaded here in the top of the third inning, and that is a ginormous out there for Odom. And we head to the bottom of the third inning. Cochran, Garcia, and Davis all due up when we come back. This is Zane Berry and Todd Siders. You are watching Bobcat Baseball. Caden Cochran, Kellen Garcia, and Drew Davis all due up here in the bottom of the third inning. And Caden Cochran steps in the box to lead things off here for the Bobcats. He takes that breaking ball, and I'm surprised they called that for a strike. Catcher didn't catch it.
Yeah, once again, you're seeing strike one from the Northeast Jones pitcher, really doing a good job working ahead.
2 straight breaking balls there to Cochran.
Yeah, that bender's starting off, got a good dip into it, good change of pace from his fastball.
Tell you what, after seeing 3 straight breaking balls, that fastball is going to look a little harder when he decides to throw it.
Yeah, good job of Leo getting out of that inning. See if maybe a little bit of momentum will swing back in the Sumrall dugout, and the Bobcat hitters can get something going here in the bottom of the third inning.
The 1-2 breaking ball misses in the low. That's 4 straight breaking balls. Caden Cochran, who's the 8-hole hitter for the Bobcats. You know, you don't see that very often. That one misses low.
Yeah, 4 straight breaking balls. Once again, he's commanding the inside part of the plate with that fastball. A lot of the Sumrall hitters are getting on top of that plate, and he's done a good job of locating inside.
And that one is going to peg Cochran, and we're going to have a pinch runner. That's huge there. You want to see the bottom half of your order just find ways on base, and a pinch runner here who can really make some things shake, and Parker Hawkins. And now Kellen Garcia comes to the plate.
Great at bat there by Caden. Get behind 0-2 on 2 breaking balls, spitting on 2 in the dirt, and then working his way on first base. Expect to see a little small ball, see if they can get that runner over to second base here. Of course, Kellen, a kid that usually handles the bat well.
Absolutely, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he squares around here with Hawkins on first. He shows it, pulls it back on the wild pitch, not the wild pitch, but the outside pitch. So a 1-0 count here to Garcia. He squares again. This one is going to be a good bunt, but it just bounces foul on this turf. That spin can get it.
Yeah, it looked like that ball kind of got in on the lower part of his bat there, close to the handle. Put a little funky spin on it, and it'll roll foul. Though we saw Northeast Jones fail to capitalize on the same opportunity last inning. Really important to move this runner in scoring position, let your top of the lineup go to work.
Absolutely. Drew Davis on deck. And that's a guy who can really bring some damage with a runner in scoring position. And Parker Hawkins, a lot of speed out there at first. A very impressive underclassman for the Sumrall Bobcat baseball team. And that was another good bunt, and almost looked like a chip on a golf green where it kind of checks up and then shoots foul.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see if they keep that bunt in on 2 strikes here. Just really kind of focus on, you got the courtesy runner over at first base with good speed. Just get the ball down, even if it's kind of right at a pitcher here. You don't have to be so fine keeping it close to the foul line on the sacrifice attempt.
The 1-2 pitch to Garcia, and he's swinging. He fouled that one off his foot.
And those hurt. Those never feel good.
That one somehow got fouled off his back foot.
A lot of exposed area there, a lot of bone down there. Those foul balls really, really can just sting for a bit. Usually going to be fine. Might be a nice bruise, but a chance for him to reset here and see if he can find a way to move this runner.
We'll step back in the box with 1 ball and 2 strikes. Man, he's got to figure out a way to move this runner. Garcia is such a gritty player. And talk about a high baseball IQ. Garcia has that for sure. He is signed with East Central Community College. And he's going to hit this one into the 6-hole. Shortstop makes an incredible grab. And that's going to be an infield single for Kellen Garcia.
Yeah, great job. Just digging in deep, putting something in play, making something happen. Found the hole between the third baseman and the shortstop. Great job by the shortstop range over, but no play with the speedy Hawkins at first. And Garcia got good wills himself, and this looks like an inning Sumrall has a chance to do some damage on.
And we talked about how important it is for this bottom of the order to step up, and that's a hit by pitch and an infield single. And now the top of the order has no outs and a runner on first and second. So great scoring opportunity here for the Bobcats. Parker Hawkins stands 180 feet away.
Kind of awkward there. Drew wanted to call time there right as the pitcher began. The pitcher was not awarded that and had to get his hands back on the bat quickly. Fouled one off.
So no balls, one strike here to Drew Davis. Davis grounded out to the shortstop his first at-bat. That one misses in the dirt. So 1 ball, 1 strike here for Davis. Garcia stands at first, Hawkins at second. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch fouled back into the net. And we've seen a lot of foul balls in the same result, dribbling over into the Tigers' dugout. These guys just really early on that breaking ball.
Yeah, just a lot of pitches just hadn't been left over the heart of the plate. A lot of balls on the corners and off, just hard for hitters to square it up.
This one hits sharply to the shortstop. Only going to be able to get one, so a fielder's choice. But it does move the runner to third base.
And there might be people watching at home wondering, you have your leadoff hitter up. Why not go ahead and do the sacrifice bunt and move runners, the 2 runners in scoring position? And, that's kind of that old school, new school debate that's going on. I, for one, like swinging away there. Don't give away outs if you don't have to. You got talented hitters. You're at the top of the lineup with the runners on. Let them swing the bat. See if you can put a crooked number up. You don't want to just put 1 up here. You want to get crooked numbers on the board and really take a hold of this game.
Well, Davis, a guy who can also, in this situation, steal second pretty much any pitch. Just a guy who's so smart on the bases and has it plus speed.
Yeah, good athlete. And like you said, let him swing there. The chances of hitting into a double play are very low at this level with his speed at the high school level. So I like allowing Drew to swing the bat there, and now you got Caden up with the runner at third base, less than 1 out. You got to find a way to scratch a run across here. And, of course, you would love to get the bat in, get Landon Hawkins up to the plate here with multiple runners on and less than 2 outs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The 2-0 pitch. That one misses low, and so we're seeing some command issues out of Ryan Harrington now.
Yeah, first time we've seen that out of him. Clearly, you'd imagine that Williamson's going to be taken here, try to load the bases up for your best hitter.
Yeah, the 3-0 pitch, and that's going to miss. And that's going to be a 4-pitch walk to Caden Williamson, and now Landon Hawkins comes to the plate. Got out on a 6-3 putout his last at-bat, but has a ginormous opportunity here with the bases loaded. And now here comes the head coach. Probably just trying to calm his pitcher down, say you're 1 pitch away. The double play is in order here with bases loaded.
Yeah, if you're a Bobcat fan, this is exactly what you want to have happen. Landon, who has a lot of experience playing at this level, has had a phenomenal year. Bases loaded, nowhere to put them. The message probably that coach is, hey, look, you don't want to give him anything good to hit here. You still want to try to make your pitches, see if you can get him out in front of something, because he can make this a 4-0 ball game in a heartbeat if you leave something over in the middle of the plate.
Absolutely. If I'm a coach here, I would rather see you hit the spots and give up maybe 1 run than miss a spot and give up 4.
Yeah, absolutely. And very important for Landon to remain patient and hit what he wants to hit in this situation. A lot of times hitters, you see this moment, a lot of energy you kind of get so amped up, you want to hit the ball so hard, you kind of get out of yourself. You want to find a pitch that you can hit. And he found it.
And he found it. And it is absolutely clobbered.
There you go.
And you can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye. Home run, Landon Hawkins. A grand slam, and that 1 pitch that we were just talking about that he did not want to throw, he threw it, and Landon Hawkins made him pay for it, Coach.
Yeah, 100% what you want to see out of your best hitter. 1-0 count, nowhere to put him. He makes a mistake, and Landon did not miss that. Inside fastball, got the hands inside the ball, drove that over the left field fence. 4-0 for the Bobcats, exactly what you want to see happen after the game last night.
And that is something.
And we got kind of both benches kind of chirping at each other right now. I noticed the catcher was saying something to the Bobcats as they were coming up to celebrate with Landon. And Coach Davis, I think, Jonah, just kind of, hey, you want to cheer for your teammates, keep the energy high, but, hey, keep the momentum here. Don't give them a reason to get upset and give them a reason to play even harder than they need to.
I even saw Landon Hawkins maybe chirping with the second baseman while rounding the bases, and the umpire having to say something to him. But the Bobcats,
and I think some of this, as we kind of talked about before the game, Northeast Jones had an article come out where they, kind of questioned how good the Bobcats were this year and felt like they were the more talented team. And, Sumrall's kind of come out kind of like, hey, if you want to say those kind of things, you got to back it up.
That's right. And after a 14-0 win last night, I'm sure Northeast Jones feels some type of way about it as well. And this one is driven out into left field, and Leo Odom strolls into second with a first pitch double. And after a fantastic 2 1/3 inning for Ryan Harrington, he's given up 2 extra base hits back-to-back to the heart of this Bobcat order.
I feel like this inning he's kind of lost command of that breaking ball, which was able to get ahead on hitters. And when he's falling behind, he's having to rely on that fastball. And Sumrall right now is just doing a good job of sitting on that, finding the barrel of the bat. And he can feel the momentum's change, right? The body language has changed for Northeast Jones. The Sumrall players are jumping around the dugout. But it's important. This Northeast Jones is not out of this game. As a pitcher, you got to settle down, try to get your offense back up to the plate, and keep this game at 4 runs.
Braylon Harrison comes to the plate. He's a strikeout victim his first at-bat. And he's got Hayden Brown standing out at second base, the pinch runner for Leo Odom. A big swing and a miss. He was trying to join the party there.
Yeah, he's hitting fastball. He got it, just missed it. Good swing of the bat right there.
The Bobcats a 4-0 lead, all off of one swing. And now Harrison, a 1-1 count, the pick to second, not in time. Hayden Brown read that one early and got back very early on the pickoff. One ball, one strike, one out. Here to Braylon Harrison. Two balls, one strike here to Harrison. The 2-1 pitch. That one fouled back. That one kind of got on the hands of Harrison there.
Yeah, credit for Harrington. Even though he gave up that grand slam, he's not shied away from trying to locate that fastball in on the hands of the Sumrall hitters.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Harrison. With a runner at second and 1 out. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses away, and the count goes to 3-2.
I tell you, the Sumrall hitters done a good job of just spitting on that pitch. A slow breaker that looks like a strike coming out of his hands, but it's diving out of the zone. They've done a good job of recognizing that early out of his hands and not chasing that pitch.
That is one thing that has impressed me throughout this season is the plate discipline these Bobcat hitters have had. I mean, Drew Davis has walked over 35 times this season. I don't know if I walked 35 times in my career.
Yeah, I mean, but you have a lineup like this that can be really deep, where all 9 can really hit the ball well. It makes it tough on a pitcher when you feel like every pitch you throw has got to be pitcher perfect at this level. It can really kind of wear on the pitcher throughout a game.
The full count pitch misses low.
There it is again. A lot of pitches, seeing a lot of pitches now, second time through the lineup. I think they're starting to recognize that breaking ball and really honing in on things that they can put a barrel on and drive hard right now.
And Will Rayner comes to the plate, and he is 1 for 1 tonight. He had an infield single and was the first hit of the ball game.
You got the third baseman playing back here. I wouldn't be surprised if you might see him try to lay one down here for a base hit with his speed.
Will Rayner has had a phenomenal season this year. And he's kind of been one of those guys that stepped up this year that hadn't played before this year and came into the lineup to start the year and hadn't looked back. He's hitting .342.
Yeah, I remember Coach Davis speaking early on about how improved his game has been. A senior that's waited his time, a team full of seniors again this year, and he's really taking advantage of his opportunities this year.
The 0-1 pitch barely catches the outside part of the plate for strike 2. So now, 2-strike approach here for Rayner. Need to put something in play here with a runner in scoring position. And he pops it up.
An infield fly, maybe not.
Second baseman. That could have been trouble. But he
turned
makes the
into
grab.
a more difficult play than it looked like originally off of the bat.
So Rayner with a fly out to the second baseman. And now Jack Miller comes to the plate. He flew out to the shortstop in his first plate appearance. 2 outs, runners going to be aggressive here. A lot of speed on the bases. So if Miller's able to sneak one in, you can bet Andy Davis is going to be sending Hayden Brown no matter where that base hit is, especially now as Hayden Brown is at third base on the wild pitch.
Yeah, that doesn't seem very important, but pitch that, the catcher wants to smother up there. Now you got runners at second and third. Both of them in scoring position, 2 outs going on contact. A base hit surely will extend this lead, 2 more runs. And a good opportunity for Jack to kind of break this game open.
And the back pick from the catcher, not in time to get Brown. Harrington is a lot more comfortable in the windup, so maybe here with 2 outs, if you're him, you're not too upset with a runner at third being able to work out of the windup.
Lost that one.
That one fouled back. So 2 balls, 1 strike to Jack Miller.
Yeah, we kind of saw the same thing with Leo. Once he got into the stretch there from the windup, command lost him a little bit. So like you said, it might be in his mind just the opportunity to get a little bit more comfortable, try to find this third out.
Yeah, you're already down 4. That was a good pitch. Just missed outside, and the count goes to 3-1.
And another pitch here, you feel like you just don't want to throw in a cookie, right? Still try to execute your pitch. You don't want to throw it down the heart of the plate.
I was about to say, if you're Jack Miller there with a 3-1 count after the momentum the Bobcats have had offensively, I would swing out of my shoes if I got a fastball. And sure enough, he did. It just went foul down the third base line.
Harrington didn't like that baseball. I was going to get a new one here. Yeah, I mean, these summer hitters are really sitting on that fastball right now and getting good swings off on it. And a lot of that's because they're in hitters' counts, and it's forcing Harrington to throw the ball over the plate with that fastball.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And this is going to be a tough play. Third baseman grabs it, and that's a phenomenal play by the third baseman. Makes it look easy. But after a Landon Hawkins home run, the Bobcats lead 4-0. When we come back, it'll be the top of the 4th inning. You are listening to Todd Siders and Zane Berry. This is Bobcat Baseball. So we are back here in the top of the fourth inning. Leo Odom starts Ryan Harrington with a first pitch fastball, and it's fouled back for strike one.
Yeah, getting 4 runs, you really want to see Leo hone in. I'd imagine he's going to challenge them with that fastball, have a shutdown inning, keep this lead at 4-0, and let your offense go back to work quickly.
That velocity looking good from Odom tonight. And that's that breaking ball. That one looks like it started behind the hitter.
Yeah, Leo's kind of asking where that pitch was right now. I think it might have fooled the umpire, too. Just real sharp, late life on that wipeout slider that he possesses.
They have a meeting on the mound. Hawkins, Cochran, and Odom. They head back to their positions, and Ryan Harrington steps in with a 1-2 count. And that's that breaking ball again. Man, that's a tough pitch to hit.
Yeah, and the way that he can tunnel that pitch, it's not a breaking ball that loops out of his hand, so it really comes off like a fastball, and just that, like I said, right when you go to swing, just dives out of the zone.
The 1-2 pitch misses away, and the count goes to 2-2.
Definitely think it's time for Leo. Just kind of, hey, let's see how far he can hit it, see if he can catch up to the velocity.
And that one in on the hands. Miller's going to have room, and he
Great
makes
play.
a great grab over there on the warning track for out number 1.
And I think people that is not an easy play to make. Has to turn his hips quickly. You're running over into a wet track over there that could be very slippery. A great play by Jack. If you don't want to give away anything free right now, you definitely want to make Northeast Jones earn everything they're going to get this game.
Absolutely. And now Jasper Harrington comes to the plate, and he flew out to left field. His first at-bat. And he hammers this one, and that's the fly out to left. He was all over it. It just, the luck of baseball hit it right to Caden Williamson out there, but he got all of that one.
Yeah, right now it's the bottom of the lineup for Northeast Jones. It kind of feels like they've kind of had a beat on this fastball right now.
Yeah, the 6-hole hitter and the 8-hole hitter with the only hits for Northeast Jones. Braden Hayes comes to the plate. He was a strikeout victim his first plate appearance. But he's got an opportunity here with the runner on first. 1 out. He squares the bunt, pulls back. Good block there by Cochran.
Yeah, and that's the challenge. When you're down by 4, you still have some time to play with, but it's kind of hard to give away outs right now unless you're just really trying to make Sumrall's defense work, field a bunt, and throw him out.
That breaking ball, a called strike.
And, of course, what it also does is you've got Landon at third base being drawn in. It opens up a little bit more holes in the infield with Miller, the first baseman, holding the runner on. Now with 2 strikes, you'll see Landon back up. Leo looking for that ground ball to get him out of the inning.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And, I don't know if the game's evolved here at the high school level, but I hadn't seen many double plays at all this season. It just seems like the kids are getting faster. And I'm telling you, I've probably seen 5 all season.
Yeah, and at this level, especially high school, a lot of times it takes something hard hit right at one of your middle infielders to turn it. But definitely a lot of athleticism right now.
A wild pitch from Odom. And now Northeast Jones with a scoring opportunity. They got a runner at second base. Here with 1 out.
And I don't particularly love it, but a lot of that's a product of the year-round sports now where every sport is playing, the travel ball competitive all the time. I think you're seeing a lot more young athletes develop faster, which is also, I imagine you see a lot more injuries because of some of the focus on the intense workouts and playing nonstop at a young age.
And you are a head coach of the Sumrall soccer team, and soccer is a sport that is kind of developed here in the area. How do you feel about your players playing travel ball throughout the summers and throughout
Well, it's just become one of those things. Like, I was a multi-sport athlete. I love my kids to be multi-sport athletes and do as much as they can, but it's just getting increasingly more difficult because those that do play year-round, they do get better. You can't argue that. So if you don't do it, it feels like you kind of fall behind. And so, back in my day, we played 3-4 sports. Now it's rare just to see some play 2.
Right. Yeah, I played 3 and then quit basketball and just played 2. And it almost felt like I was missing something in my life.
Yeah, I mean,
and so I had to play again my senior
just
season.
So many things that young kids can do these days that even, I'm a little bit old now, but even when I was playing, if you didn't do things with your school, there really wasn't a whole lot to do.
Right. And I found that playing basketball made me better at baseball.
Yeah, and that's the same way. Like when I was done with the sport, I wanted to be done with the sport and focus on something else.
That one misses away. So a 1-2 count here to Asher McBride, who hit a single his first at-bat, turned on it out in the right field. That breaking ball misses away. He kind of aimed that one there.
Yeah, the fastball command has been pretty good tonight. That slider command's kind of been a little bit all over the place, but a lot of times he just uses it as a strikeout pitch.
That one misses away.
He's nibbling on the outside corner. Feels like he's got the call a few times he hasn't. That ball was off the plate, though.
Yeah, good call there by the umpire. But a full count now to McBride. And that one couldn't have been any more center cut for strike number 3. And Leo Odom leaves the runner there at third. And we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Bobcats lead 4-0 when we come back. Caden Cochran steps up to the plate, set to lead things off here for the Bobcats in the bottom of the 4th inning. Caden Cochran was the one who started the rally back in the 3rd inning when the Bobcats were able to score 4. And he flies this one out to the right fielder. Right fielder makes the grab for out number 1. And now Kellen Garcia comes to the plate. He singled his first at-bat. If you're Garcia, it's good to see a single, no matter how you can get it. That's all it's going to take for him.
Yeah, Kellen's
got
got
some confidence.
Yeah, brings a lot of value on the defensive side of the ball. I know he would be the first to tell you he hadn't hit the way he wanted to this season, but if he get the ball in play, uses athleticism, find a way on base, and just turn that lineup over, that's what you want to see out of your 9-hole hitter.
And he could be so dynamic on the bases. A lot of speed. He could almost act as a leadoff hitter out of the 9-hole spot.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe take until he gets a strike. You really want to make this pitcher work after getting that pitch count up last inning.
A big swing and a miss there by Garcia. And I was with you there. Maybe you want to take till you get a strike, but got a pitch he liked. I'm not mad at it. Breaking ball.
Breaking ball.
For strike 2. And he watches that one hit the plate for strike 3.
I think he was looking for a breaking ball there. Good job by Harrington painting that fastball on the outer third.
Now Drew Davis heads to the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Fielder's choice and a 6'3" putout. And this one's popped up. Second baseman is going to try to make the grab. Right fielder calls him off. Ooh, and it about pops out of his glove, but he catches it for out number 3. So a quick 3 up, 3 down. And the Bobcats lead 4-0. When we come back in the top of the 5th inning, this is Zane Berry and Todd Siders. You are watching Bobcat Baseball. We're back here in the top of the 5th inning. The 9-hole hitter, Logan Altman, and then the top of the order comes up for the Northeast Jones Tigers. And a quick 2 strikes to Logan Altman. Leo Odom still throwing a gem on the mound. And he gets another strikeout. Out of the top of the order for Northeast Jones.
3 fastballs right after you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night right there. Just blowing it right by the Northeast Jones hitter.
So Carter Wigginton, he's 0 for 1 tonight. He's got a walk. And his last at-bat. And, you know, this very well could be 4-0 Northeast Jones. They had the bases loaded with the meat of the order up.
Yeah, that's the difference of the ball game. The opportunity that Sumrall had, they took full advantage of it. Their best hitter driving the grand slam out of left field. Northeast Jones leaving the bases loaded and their chance to get on the board.
2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out.
You definitely want to see with this 4-run lead. Leo, just fill up the zone, make these Northeast Jones hitters put the bat on the ball. Don't give them free bases.
And you also don't want to throw too many balls because your pitch count here later in the game, you want to round it out as long as you can. But that's what walks do. I mean, you drive that pitch count up. Say, here you go, hit it. Let me see what you can do.
Of course, the high school game evolved since I played. We didn't have pitch limits and pitch counts and all that kind of stuff. We just kind of rode your guys as long as you could ride them.
Another strikeout.
And honestly, that's what I love to see, right? You have this tremendous fastball. I'm throwing that until they prove that they can hit it consistently.
And Jack Sullins comes to the plate, and I imagine he'll get some after he struck out in his last plate appearance on 3 straight fastballs.
Yeah, and even though it's 4-0, you just kind of get the feeling it just feels like a much larger lead right now, the way that Leo is just pounding the zone with that fastball.
4 runs with this Bobcat pitching staff almost acts as 8 runs, you know. It's just hard to get 4 runs on these guys. Defensively, they're very sharp. But one thing I've noticed, and I felt this way last year too doing these games with you, as a defender, it's hard to stay focused when you have pitchers like Drew Davis and Leo Odom on the mound. I mean, there hadn't been many balls put in play tonight.
Yeah. I mean, as a coach, you don't hate it because you know obviously swing and miss and strikeouts, there's not a lot teams can do. And there's that 2-out walk you definitely want to avoid. But, going into this year, and the same as last year, I think Coach Aves will tell you the strength of this team is not only the starting pitching, but the depth of their starting pitching. I mean, they have guys 6, 7 deep. That would be aces for a lot of teams in this area and in this division. So, he's been able to manage the pitch load throughout the season and keeping everybody fresh as they get down to the finale of the season. He feels like his guys are rested and ready to go.
And I can list several guys out on the field tonight that hadn't touched the ball all night defensively. Where back when I was playing, we didn't have this pitching staff, and everybody was getting the ball hit to them. But I know it's a little tough to stay locked in and you're pretty much a spectator out there hoping he gets a strikeout.
Yeah, and here's where Leo's just got to kind of bear down here, right? There's 2 easy outs, and then you walk a guy, and you start off with 2 here, just kind of losing that zone. Just want to hone in, throw strikes with that fastball, and make them make contact. The only way Northeast Jones is getting back in this ball game is if you give them free runners and somebody runs into one.
And the short porch out and right, Caden Padgett, who came into the game hitting .461. This would be the guy. I would think if you're Northeast Jones, you'd want up right here.
Yeah, not many more times they're going to get the swing of bat in this game, so they're really trying to find a way to just scratch a run across, get some positive momentum.
Padgett pops this one up. Drew Davis ranging to his left, camps under it, and makes the grab. And Caden Williamson about took him out there.
Yeah, always kind of unnerving when you see an outfielder charging in and an infielder going back. Kind of worried about those collisions, but a good job by Drew staying with that and recording the final out.
Yeah, and F6 ends it here in the top of the 5th inning, so we will be back in the bottom of the 5th. This is Zane Berry and Todd Saunders. You are watching Bobcat Baseball. Aiden Williamson, Landon Hawkins, and Leo Odom, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Bobcats, all due up here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Coach Knight always emphasized 5th, 6th, and 7th. That's where you win a ball game. If you win those innings, you win the ball game. And Bobcats coming to this with a 4-run cushion.
Yeah, you definitely just don't want to sit on a 4-run lead here. Definitely want to keep adding on, extending this lead, putting more and more pressure as Northeast Jones sees their season coming to an end. If you can really keep applying that pressure on them.
And Williamson pokes that one out into center. And that's going to be a single for Caden Williamson, his first hit of the night. And now Landon Hawkins comes to the plate.
Third baseman, Landon Hawkins.
We don't have to say anything about Landon Hawkins. Had a 4-run grand slam his last time up.
If I were him, I'd be sitting on a breaking ball right now. See if he hangs one.
Yeah, he won't be getting the pitch he got last time. Caden Williamson out at first base. Ooh, and he got another fastball there. Just missed it. That was a big, healthy swing from Hawkins.
Yeah, he was definitely trying to make that one a 6-run lead, and I don't blame him. Got a pitch to hit, just missed it.
No balls, 1 strike here to Landon Hawkins. That one got on the hands of him.
Hey. Credit Harrington. He's not scared to go back into that same location where Hawkins hit the grand slam last time, starting off with 2 fastballs in on the hands.
Yeah, he's going right back at him. Now he's got Landon Hawkins down with an 0-2 count. This will be a big out for Harrington. So he's got Leo Odom on deck, who's very liable to run one out of the ballpark as well. Hawkins takes that one in the dirt. Count goes to 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Hawkins a little late on that one. He's able to foul it back. And the count stays at 1-2. Pick off to first, not in time to get Williamson. The Bobcats will be playing one of their district foes. If they're able to win this game, as Columbia and Purvis are facing off against each other here in the third round. I imagine tonight's down in Columbia.
Kind of a weird situation as the Columbia head coach will move on to be the Purvis head coach next season.
This one hit out in the center field.
Landon got a breaking ball there. Just got a little bit underneath that one.
So the fly out to the center fielder is out number 1. Now Leo Odom comes to the plate, and he doubled his last at-bat. Kind of gets overshadowed by that grand slam of Hawkins, but that double was a great piece of hitting out into left field.
What is it?
So 1 out for the Tigers. They're trying to get back in the dugout and scrap some across. They're down to their final 6 outs of the season.
Good job.
Cool thing about baseball, it's never over until it's over.
Yeah, that's right. I thought a good job of Leo. Kind of a free swinger there. Gets a breaking ball. Very easy to kind of swing over and roll over there, doing a good job of staying patient.
Now one pegs him in the back. And he's going to jog down to first, and now there's runners at first and second for Braylon Harrison.
That one looked right on the tailbone there. That one doesn't feel good.
Now Braylon Harrison, he's 0 for 1 tonight with the walk and a strikeout. Williamson working the pitcher out at second base. Good cut by Harrison, but just fouls it back. So no balls, 1 strike here to Harrison. Looks like Cross Sibley pitching for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles.
Yeah, Southern Miss up 6-0 here in the top of the 8th over the Arkansas State Red Wolves. Cross came in the last inning. He's kind of settled into that bullpen role here late in the season for the Golden Eagles. As we see
Another volleyball.
volleyball or soccer ball or something. I can't be too mad if it's a soccer ball now.
I'm thinking that's a volleyball.
Yeah, I think it must be. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Whatever it is, the kids are not getting it back.
So no balls, 2 strikes here to Braylon Harrison. Hayden Brown at first, Caden Williamson at second. That one misses away.
And that ball is clearly off the plate. Northeast Jones doesn't like it, but that was in the other batter's box.
Yeah, if they had our seats, they'd understand that call right there. Great call there by the umpire.
And that is the definition of turning on a baseball.
Yeah, that one went about 90 degrees from the batter's box.
Of course, Braylon has his toes on the line there, the batter's box, really getting in on top of that plate, challenging the pitcher to come in with those quick hands.
1 ball, 2 strikes here to Braylon Harrison. The 1-2 pitch. This one's hit over to the shortstop. Shortstop makes the grab and throws it to third for out number 2. And that's a great play by the shortstop.
Play.
He's made fantastic plays all night.
Yeah, good heads-up play. No way you're going to get the Speedy Harrison there at first. Good job taking the force out at third base there. Just kind of heads-up play, force out, flip it over, and get 2 outs. And this is an important inning for Northeast Jones, right? You cannot have this lead extend any further as you only got 6 outs to work with trying to find 4 runs.
Will Rayner comes to the plate. He's 1 for 2 tonight. He takes that one for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch to Rayner. Oh, that questionable call there.
The outside corner has been big and small tonight.
Depends the inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here to Will Rayner. Hayden Brown at second. And this one's cranked, and it's got a chance. Left fielder ranges back, and that one gets out of here. You can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye. Home run, Will Rayner. And that's his first home run of the season.
That might be his first home run of the career.
That is his first career home run. And he got every bit of that one. I couldn't tell if it was going to get out of here or not. Left fielder looked like he was camped under it out there. But it gets out of the ballpark. And the Bobcats now have a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, you feel like that might be the final nail there, hit there by the Bobcats here.
Yeah, that was a dagger there. If you're Northeast Jones, you weren't feeling too bad at 4-0, but 7-0.
It feels a little bit insurmountable at this part, but we have seen crazier things happen. It's important for Sumrall to stay focused here at this moment, but good job by Rayner. Got a pitch he can handle, got it up and out in left center field. Got to feel good for the senior right there.
And now Jack Miller comes to the plate. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. That one misses low. A 7-0 lead. You're feeling good if you're Sumrall. If you're able to throw, I'm not gonna jinx it. I'm not gonna say it. Never mind.
We'll try not to be those announcers.
I'm not gonna say it. But the Bobcats a 7-0 lead. It feels like they're playing their best baseball at the right time. They're 5 wins away from bringing home another trophy.
Yeah, and a shout out to Andrew Attaby of Pine Belt Sports. Got to see the article he got to do with Coach Andy Davis. And Coach Davis is right? This is just the time of the year for Sumrall baseball. They always turn it on during this time, really play their best baseball during this time, and very comfortable in these settings. And that comes with a proud program that has been here and done that. All these players have grown up in this dugout watching this team and this program succeed year in and year out, and it's become the expectations for them.
The full count pitch misses low, and you got to imagine Harrington's on a short leash here.
Yeah, I don't know what the pitch count is, but it feels like it's starting to climb up there.
So now Caden Cochran comes to the plate. Cochran 0 for 1 tonight and has a fly out and a hit by pitch. I just got word Purvis is winning 13-0 over Columbia.
So if you're Coach Lindsay of Columbia, is that like you feel good about that as you're moving into Purvis next year? Or?
Well, I think about 90% of Purvis's lineup are all seniors.
Yeah, that's a tough job that he's kind of walking into. But, you know, Purvis is one of those proud programs as well. They tend to always kind of reload themselves. So,
Absolutely.
You know they won't be going away anytime soon.
That one fouled back, and Caden Cochran now an 0-2 count on him here with 2 outs.
It just speaks to how popular that the game of baseball is here in this area and in Mississippi. I mean, everybody just tends to grow up on it. All the college programs are really good. The junior college programs are the best in the country. You see so many local teams still playing in this area. I mean, baseball just means so much to these communities, and it's just a lot of fun to watch. And all these kids grow up into it and love it, and just a special time of the year.
Yeah, I can speak personally. Baseball has just been, I mean, for me, I saw my brother play here at Sumrall. Then I played 4 years at Sumrall, and now I'm seeing the kids I coached Little League and travel ball now playing for Sumrall. And
yep, and what you're saying is we're getting old, my man. We're getting old.
I hate to admit it. That one fouled back. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here on Caden Cochran, Coach Billy Garrity, senior, running out.
The legend.
The legend. The Cajun legend. Harrington comes set. And, you know, if it wasn't for 2 mistakes tonight, Harrington has pitched phenomenal.
I think all in, he's pitched a well ball game here. Early on, really was locating his fastball. It just seems like 2 pitches that got away from him. And like I said, man, crooked numbers this time of the year are hard to overcome.
And a fly out to the second baseman is going to end things here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bobcats lead 7-0 when we come back here in the top of the 6th. This is Zane Berry and Todd Siders. You are watching Bobcat Baseball.
Lead off the top of 6 for Northeast Jones. First baseman, Cruz Sullivan.
So Cruz Sullivan comes to the plate, and he pops up to Leo Odom, his first pitch he sees. So that's a quick out, number 1, and now the Tigers down to their final 5 outs.
You're glad that bat is metal and not wood, because that bat would have been splintered. That is the definition of sawing somebody off right there.
Even if you're Odom, you're glad that bat's not wood, because
Yes.
that could have went right back to him. Fastball misses away to Ryan Harrington. So Ryan Harrington and Jasper Harrington, the next two due up here with one out. And that's his second hit by pitch of the night.
Second baseman, Jasper Harrington.
And that's the pitcher, too, who got Leo earlier. And I think Leo's saying he kind of threw his elbow into that one. See if there's some words maybe exchanged here as they go across each other. No. Umpire walking in to make sure.
Yeah, things have been chippy. But a runner on first now for the Tigers, and Jasper Harrington comes to the plate. He singled his last at-bat. He's had two hard hit balls tonight, one to left field, and then a line drive single to Braylon Harrison. And now Odom's command. This is where you see him working out of that stretch. Just a little more uncomfortable.
Yeah, definitely want to see him kind of continue to fill the zone up here with a 7-run lead. You see some Bobcats kind of stirring there, going towards the bullpen here. Looks like, is that the lefty Rowan Atkinson going down?
Rowan Atkinson, he's a guy who only throws out of the stretch.
Yeah, kind of a funky left-handed delivery. Once again, speaking to the depth of this Bobcat pitching staff.
And his velocity can go up there to 88, 89. That one a called strike, so Odom able to find the zone there. The count goes to 3-1 to Jasper Harrington. And this one's popped up to right field. Will Rayner camps under it for out number 2. And if Odom's able to get the out here, do you think Davis is going to let him run out there for the 7th?
I mean, I think it just kind of depends on how he feels. You certainly don't want to give any life into this Northeast Jones lineup. And somebody that's been pitching that well, kind of, if you see a new pitcher, might jolt a little bit of excitement into that lineup. But you also kind of have an eye going ahead into next week as well. And you want Leo and Drew to be as sharp as possible going into what is going to be a long and hard-fought series.
Swing and a miss there by Braden Hayes.
To answer the question, I'm glad I'm not making the decision.
You know, you want him to finish it out. I mean, it's his game.
Yeah, you feel like it. I mean, he wouldn't pitch again for another week, so that series is slated for Friday, Saturday, and Game 3 if needed on Monday. So he'd have a full week's of rest. I think he'd be fine to go ahead and finish this game on out.
It's so good to see him build off that start just a week ago. That was a good pitch there. But like we were saying earlier, his best start of the season just a week ago, and now he caps it off. And he's got a lot of zeros on the board here through 5 2/3. And that's going to be another strikeout.
For Northeast Jones in the top of the 6th. No runners, no hits, no errors, 1 left, after 5.5.
And so we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Bobcats lead 7-0 when we come back. This is Zane Berry and Todd Siders. You are watching Bobcat Baseball. Kellen Garcia, Drew Davis, and Caden Williamson all due up here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Leading off the bottom of the 6th for the Bobcats, second baseman, Kellen Garcia.
And they could end it here in the bottom of the 6th. They're able to scoot 3 runs across.
And honestly, if I'm Coach Davis, I'm challenging him to try to do that, right? Try to get used to when you have somebody down, putting them out. Don't give anybody second life. See if you can put 3 runs up here and don't even allow Northeast Jones to grab the bats again.
Like we said, baseball's a crazy game. You don't even want to give them that opportunity. So no balls, 2 strikes here to Kellen Garcia. Harrington still on the mound for Northeast Jones. And I imagine his arms probably getting a little tired now. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss, and that's Garcia's 2nd strikeout of the night. And now Drew Davis comes to the plate. He's 0 for 3 on the night. And looks like the coach for Northeast Jones heads to the mound, and we will probably have a pitch and change here. And so it looks like we'll have a pitch and change here. So we'll come back after the break. This is Zane Berry and Todd Siders. You are watching Bobcat Baseball.
Number 11.
So a pitching change here for the Northeast Jones Tigers. We're going to see who this new pitcher is. Number 11. Looked good in the warm-ups.
A great outing for Harrington. Just 2 pitches got him, the 2 home runs. Thought he threw the ball really well tonight. Must be a senior, kind of an emotional walk-off for him between him and his coach and his teammates. Nothing to hang his head about, as I thought he pitched very well tonight.
Yeah, very good outing for him. Just like we said at the break, 2 mistakes really cost him the game. But Cade Mazingo's the pitcher now. He's 3-3 on the season. He's got 38 innings pitched, 31 hits, 45 strikeouts, and 20 walks. So a good arm for him out of the bullpen. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Davis. That one misses in the dirt. So a full count to Drew Davis. Caden Williamson stands on deck. Mazingo walks the first batter he sees.
Yeah, it looks like a live arm. You said the 20 walks.
20
Seems like
walks.
command might be a little bit of an issue there. The stuff certainly can play.
Now he faces Caden Williamson here with one out. Bobcats going to try to be aggressive here. And hopefully try to end this thing here in the 6th. Davis a good lead. And that one gets away from the first baseman. Davis strolls into second. Looks like Ryan Harrington is the shortstop now, and who was the shortstop, Caden Padgett, moves out to center field as Mazingo was in center field originally. Not in the lineup, getting DH for, but he is the center fielder for the Northeast Jones squad. That pitch misses up. One ball, no strikes, one out. Another ball from Mazingo. Mazingo having command issues here through the first two batters he's faced. That one misses up. So 3 balls, no strikes to Caden Williamson. He finds the zone with a 3-0 count. Three balls, one strike. This one popped out into right field. Davis is going to be able to tag up. He strolls into third base. So sac fly. They're going to fly out to right field. Now Landon Hawkins comes to the plate. Two outs. Mazingo trying to get his team in the dugout.
Seems like the book on Landon might be to try to get it on the hands. Seen a lot of fastballs riding in. Of course, got a lot of power, probably trying not to let his hands get extended. Wearing the yellow, almost looks like work.
The
gloves.
Work gloves. He's went to work in them tonight. And this one's hitting the 6-hole. Harrington never stood a chance. And that's going to bring the Bobcats one run closer as they take an 8-0 lead on the infield single from Landon Hawkins.
And you know, Leo has one thing on his mind, trying to end the game on one swing here and not even let Northeast Jones have 3 more outs.
There's a guy that can do it. It's Leo Odom, 8 home runs on the season.
Yeah, he's
And
tried.
that was the pitch.
He took a hack there, just missed it, fouled it straight back.
That was the pitch, but that was also the swing. LSU beating Texas A&M 2-1 right now. Looks like they played a doubleheader today, and A&M took one from them.
Yeah, it seems like A&M is starting to get hot at the right time after the disappointing start to their season, being preseason ranked number 1. So a lot of people thought they wouldn't even make the tournament now. Looks like they have kind of worked their ways back onto the bubble, if not firmly in the field of 64.
Yeah, they've really turned things around. And Tennessee dropped 2 out of 3 last weekend to this LSU team, so an LSU team that's been playing good.
Yeah, that's just a gauntlet there. Not the biggest SEC fan in the world, but respect where respect is due.
They beat up
every
on each
weekend is a grind between those programs. Just a lot of talented teams.
Yeah, they absolutely beat up on each other, and it makes it hard for guys like us over at Southern Miss when these guys' RPIs are going up. Might have called strike 3 on Odom. Didn't look close. But the Bobcats 3 outs away from punching their ticket to their 4th consecutive South State championship. I think all 4 to Purvis. So Odom, as we talked just an inning ago, didn't know if he was going to go back out. Davis sends him on back out, and he faces Asher McBride, Logan Altman, and then Carter Wigginton. The 3 due up for the Tigers as they're down to their final 3 outs of the year. And Odom Andy Davis yelling stop. I don't know what that was about. But Odom now with the 3-1 count to the 8-hole hitter, Asher McBride.
I'd say you probably see a short leash here if he can't throw strikes.
Good to see him throw a strike there. Asher McBride, one of the 2 hits tonight for Northeast Jones. That one fouled back. McBride with a tattoo on his forearm. I'll tell you what, I've seen a lot of tattoos throughout this season.
Different time and age, man.
A swing and a miss. And that's another strikeout for Leo Odom.
Is that even legal?
Having tattoos?
Like, does the parent have to sign off on that? Or if you're 18, you can do it? Or is it no age limit?
I know if you're 18, you can do it, but I think if you're 17, there may be some kind of rule. But I think you can get a tattoo at any time if your parents sign off on it.
Those always tend to look great when you turn 70.
And looks like we're going to have a pitch and change to Leo Odom after he gets 1 out here in the 7th. You see Coach Andy Davis coming out to the line.
It seems to line up that he'll make another start here at Larry Knight Field next Saturday, and which should be a big one against the Purvis Tornadoes in the South State Championship Series.
And you see all the Bobcat fans standing up and giving Leo Odom an ovation tonight as this is back-to-back weeks. He has pitched phenomenal, and we'll see Rowan Atkinson come up on the mound for the Bobcats, trying to finish this thing out. When we get done, and when we come back after the break. Rowan Atkinson toes the rubber in place of Leo Odom, who finished his night with 6 1/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, and 10 strikeouts. So all you can do is tip your cap to him if you're Northeast Jones.
Yeah, another great outing for Leo. You'd love to see him building 2 back-to-back starts and knowing that his next one's going to be a big one.
Absolutely, probably the biggest of his high school career as he's trying to cap off his senior season with a state championship, but there's one team that stands in the way of that, and that's the mighty Tornadoes. And I can tell you the Parker twins and that whole bunch of seniors have a bad taste in their mouth from last year.
Yeah, it should be another dynamic series between 2 talented programs with both teams heavily laden with seniors that are very talented. Of course, Parker twins likely to hear their names being called in the MLB draft this summer.
You know, the one thing that's going to be different about this series versus the past few ones, Purvis won the district this year, and so game 1 will be at Purvis. And then game 2 here, so if the Bobcats are able to win Friday night at Purvis, you have to imagine this place will be electric on Saturday.
Well, it should be either way. Win or lose, you know, it's nowhere else you want to go watch a high school game like that. And good job by Rowan here coming in, throwing 3 balls, getting those last 2. Big, tall left-hander. Has kind of a little bit of a funky delivery coming at you, hides the ball well, good velocity, good run on the fastball.
Next Sunday is also Mother's Day. And so if your mother loves baseball as much as mine does, you might as well bring her out to Larry Knight Field next Saturday and enjoy some really good baseball with her.
Hopefully they can bring this weather with us too. Man, what a beautiful night.
So the top of the order back, due up for the Tigers here with 1 out. Wigginton takes a first pitch ball, and Atkinson trying to find the zone. See through 4 balls to the first pitch, or the first hitter he faced. That one misses away.
Just feels like it's kind of
It's like he's
a little
aiming
bit off between his plant foot and his release. Yeah, it just kind of doesn't look like he's kind of in sorts right now. But a very important arm for the Bobcats. They really want to see him get going as a guy that can really neutralize left-handed bats. And of course, Purvis has a few of them that are pretty good.
And Atkinson pitched against Purvis the last time they played at Purvis, and he pitched well, but injured his ankle kind of middle of the game, and unfortunately had to be pulled during that game. But a guy who came in and really kept those hitters off balance. A swing and a miss. Hession got lucky he didn't hit. The pitcher there, that was probably 2 inches from hitting Atkinson in the head.
He had nobody holding the runner on. They're kind of conceding the base anyways there.
I couldn't tell if...
But maybe he didn't, just kind of realize that as he came up to throw it, that they were kind of conceding the base anyways with the 8-0 lead.
And I couldn't tell from where we're sitting if the batter may have leaked out in front and he was trying for a catcher's interference or a hitter's interference.
And that is Turk Hession that's come in to catch for Caden Cochran.
Yeah, Turk Hession in the game now. And a runner at third now as the Tigers look to score their first run of the series here in the top of the 7th inning. And a walk to Wigginton. He flips his bat and runs to first. And Jack Sullins comes to the plate here with 1 out, runners at first and third.
And Sumrall does have action already in the bullpen.
I can't tell who that is. So 1 out for the Bobcats. Tigers down to their last 2. A swing and a miss there from Sullins.
This time Sumrall is electing to hold the runner on at first base and not concede second base, which does open up a little bit more of a gap between the first baseman and the second baseman on the right side of the field.
Sullins takes that one inside. And looks like there's a bench clear here in Sumrall. It's 8-0. And that the runner kind of slid into Atkinson. Atkinson kind of fell on him awkwardly, and they had some words for each other. And then all the Tigers come out of the dugout. And you got to be smart here.
Yeah.
Because if you're ejected here, you can't play in the next matchup. And it doesn't matter for these guys. They have nothing. Yeah. They have nothing to lose.
I do believe by rule, if you leave the dugout area in something like that, you are supposed to be ejected from the game. Now, I don't know if they were able to catch the numbers of those players that came out and did that. I did not notice anybody from Sumrall's dugout coming out. I don't think it was anything on purpose, just kind of an unfortunate incident where the pass ball gets by, wild pitch, you're covering the plate, and the slide on a wet turf just kind of slid into the pitcher there. And like you said, they felt awkwardly and then exchanged some words, and some of the Tigers came running out of the dugout at that moment. So
yeah, I didn't think it was a dirty play.
I didn't think it was a dirty play. I don't think it was anything intentional, just kind of unfortunate. And, tensions have been high this series.
And the umpires have made their decision here. The run.
I wish there was a way for us to know what is being discussed here and what the ultimate decision is going to be. Of course, the runner that was at first base just kept trotting the whole way. I think they're telling them that they're going to call that a dead ball.
Which it should be.
When the altercation took place, which would send the runner back to second base at that time point. I imagine they were not going to give him home plate. I could see you may make an argument that he should get third, but it looks like they're sending him back to second base. Hard to tell if anybody was ejected. I don't think so. Of course, the bigger issue here is with a 8-run lead, you got to throw strikes.
That's right. And man, I hate to see stuff like this at the end of the game because, like I said, Northeast Jones right now, I mean, they're down 7. They really don't have anything to lose.
Yeah,
so if you get ejected, it's not a big deal, but
unless you are a underclassman, then you do miss either the first game next year or the next 2. And I do believe we might see a pitching change, coming up for Sumrall here.
Looks like we have a pitching change. Jack Miller going to toe the rubber here for Rowan Atkinson.
And look, I'm going to get on my old man pedestal here, but this is a result when you turn on the TVs, the college game, the professionals now, and this is just everybody wants to pimp a home run. Everybody wants to throw bats. Everybody wants to talk trash the whole time, and it just wasn't like that when I played, and I hate that the game has kind of turned into that way.
Yeah,
and I'll get off my rocker now.
Speaking of that, I'm sure this is your favorite team to watch. The Tennessee Volunteers have kind of branded themselves as that.
Yeah, kind of the bad boys. Like it's almost
Tony
like
Vitello.
Once again, show my age. The bad boys of the Pistons back there, kind of like being the villain and kind of embracing that, which is fine if you want to be that way. But at some point, especially at the high school level, we got to maintain a sense of sportsmanship from both sides and realize, this game should be fun and we should be celebrating the gifts that these young men possess.
Well, when you cut on the College World Series and the regionals, and you got Tennessee. I'm just using Tennessee as an example because they're the team that does it right now. But all these kids watching Tennessee, and I mean they were in Hattiesburg just a few years ago, and they just show. They're the same guys every game. It doesn't matter.
And I do agree with the statement. Like, if you don't want them to do it, don't allow them to do it. I get that. But at some point, and maybe it's just me. Like I said, I'm old school. Like a guy that could hit a ball 450 feet and then jog around the bases, like that's just something he does every day, is more intimidating to me than somebody that wants to throw a bat 50 feet in the air and that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying that bad about Northeast Jones or Sumrall right now. I'm just saying that that's just kind of what – you turn on TV, that's what happens now. Like, everybody hits a home run now. You flip it bad, and you showboat, and you do all that kind of stuff. And back in the day, you used to not be able to get away with that kind of stuff because your next hitter was going to take something in the rib cage. Of course, now if you do it, you get ejected from games. But
yeah, I agree with you. I miss that baseball where the guy behind you pays for it, and it's the little things and. Now it seems like it's not the little things; it's the big things.
Yeah, and there is a time like you hit a walk-off home run. Yeah, you celebrate that, go crazy. But when you're down in a situation, I was at Hattiesburg here, where the kid hit the home run, they're down by 9 runs and throws the bat almost into the Sumrall dugout.
Yeah,
like it's
absolutely.
Just, it's just kind of a new day and age, and that's just me kind of showing my age. But like I said, if you really don't want them to do it, don't allow them to do it.
So Jack Miller, the new pitcher. And he faces Jax Sullins as the Northeast Jones Tigers are down to their final 2 outs.
And I'm not by any means saying that is what Northeast Jones was doing. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying
absolutely.
It just tends to be the culture in our youth today and the way that everybody kind of does, and with the TikToks and all that kind of stuff. And
I think we established that wasn't a dirty play at the plate.
Not. It was not.
They just got tangled up, and it's kind of been a high-intent series through 2 days. You said there was an article that came out about Sumrall, and so Sumrall takes that personally, and And just how Northeast Jones takes it personally that Sumrall's put them out
Yes,
for a few
100%.
years now. And so there's just a little rivalry here. And when you're down 8-1 or 8-0, you'd have nothing to lose. And now you're down to your final out.
It looks like Caden Cochran has re-entered the game as the catcher. Leo, who exited after pitching, is now at first base with Jack coming onto the mound. Jack, the Itawamba the Itawamba Community College signee, going up to be an Indian next year.
Itawamba, beautiful campus.
That's Fulton, Mississippi, I do believe.
It is. They have these beautiful pines behind their outfield fence. And this one's hit to the second baseman. Garcia backhands it, tries to throw it to first. A wet ball. It gets away from Garcia. And they score their second run of the ball game.
Would have been a tough play anyways. I'm not sure if he'd have gotten him even with a good throw.
We're going to call that an E4.
Well, I think you could give it a single, then an E4 on the throw. Now, do you think a good throw would have gotten him? It was kind of hard to tell.
I think I don't know. I didn't see him coming out of the box. I know Padgett's a heck of an athlete.
Yeah, he can run. Neither here nor there. Just one more out for Sumrall with a 6-run lead. Just want to see Jack throw strikes and move on to the next series.
So 1-0 count here to Cruz Sullins. Big lead from Padgett. Northeast Jones, they're always pretty solid at soccer, aren't they?
Yeah, they have a very good soccer program on the girls and the boys side. Well, Sumrall will just let that go on. They'll go on as a defensive indifference.
My wife's former teammate at Southern Miss, Esmeralda Figueroa.
Yeah, she was twins. They were very talented players out of that region. They have sent several players to the next level.
And this one cranked. It goes foul. Yeah, she is now a collegiate umpire for the referee or whatever. Referee.
It's okay.
Soccer.
I mean, you made it into it. Yeah, man, you made it into it, right? We're learning.
I should know that.
Another pitch, I think. And what I'll say about that outside corner, at times it's been there, and at times it's kind of been not there.
As a hitter, you have to know that does have a chance of being called. It's the 7th inning now. He's kind of established his own. So a full count here with 2 outs. Bobcats 1 pitch away from punching their ticket to the South State Championship. The 3-2 pitch. Fouled back. And I'll tell you what, this Sumrall team, this is probably the biggest Sumrall team that I've seen in a while. Just the size of these guys. Jack Miller doesn't look big on the mound right now because everybody else is big out there, but I bet Jack's 6'2". And that's a walk to Cruz Sullins. Now Ryan Harrington comes to the plate. He's been hit by 2 pitches.
You're still, I think, 2 hitters away from even bringing the tying run up to the plate.
Yeah, so still not much pressure. Now you got easy way in the middle.
Sumrall's going to go ahead and not hold the runner on at first base here.
I could see a timing pick to first working here.
Yeah, that would be interesting call. Of course, defensive finish go. If the runner goes defensive indifference, they are allowing Northeast Jones to take second base if they choose to.
So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here to Ryan Harrington. Way ahead for Miller. Don't want to make a mistake. Breaking ball. Misses up. So 2 runners in scoring position now for the Tigers. The 1-2 pitch misses up. And Miller has thrown back-to-back balls. Bring the count to 2-2 here with 2 outs. Was Southern Miss able to win that ball game,
Yeah,
Coach?
Southern Miss held on to win that one 8-0.
8-0. So they take the series from Arkansas State.
Good job by Harrington. Your goal right now as a hitter, you're just trying to pass the game on to the next hitter until you can at least get the tying run up to bat. That is the goal of the offense right now.
Ryan Harrington, a senior, trying not to make this his last at-bat as a Tiger. We saw the ovation he got when he got pulled off the mound. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And 2 runners on for the Tigers. Jack Miller comes set. The 2-2 pitch. And it's popped up. Will Rayner camps under it for out number 3. And the Bobcats head to the South State Championship. And they will face the Tornadoes of Purvis. It'll be at Tony Farlow Field next Friday and at Larry Knight Field next Saturday night. So, Coach, I hope to have you again there. You can't miss now.
Yeah, I will do everything I can to get there. We'll see what the schedule looks like. I think Friday and Saturday kind of open for me.
So the Bobcats win the ball game here of a score 8-2, and we will see you next Friday night. This is Zane Berry and Todd Siders. You are watching Bobcat Baseball.